Good morning. Hello. Thank you for holding. Hello.
Good morning, you guys.
Good morning. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm great. I was
Good.
just so tickled to hear Bob Dylan on your show this morning.
You're a Bob Dylan fan, huh?
Oh my God, he's the best.
Are you the one that have seen Bob Dylan like 10 times or something?
I'm more like in the 50 times camp. Between them, between him, REM, and the Grateful Dead, all over 50.
Okay, that's impressive.
And Dylan, I don't know if you guys, keep up, but over the weekend, Willie Nelson fell ill.
Yes.
And he,
missed a show.
Playing at a few of the several.
Mm-hmm.
And Dylan is on that tour, and he broke out two great, rock and roll country rock standard covers and freaked out the Dylan community over the weekend. He did the Chuck Berry song Little Queenie, and he did 6 Days on the Road, Dave Dudley song, and there are just so many people that follow this man. He really is our greatest songwriter in American history, in my opinion.
Well, and as far as, what would be your favorite song? Because, normally everybody must get stoned. I mean, we know some of the big ones. But do you have a favorite Dylan song that you really just love, that really speaks to you?
It depends on my mood or where I'm at. This guy's written probably 150 songs that have moved me. And when I think about the musical geniuses of today that are lauded with their art, like Taylor Swift, I've yet to have a lyric get stuck in my head or change my life or make me think beyond, this sounds
Shake
good.
it off, shake it off, shake it off.
Sorry.
That's a favorite one.
Not as strong as somebody's got it in for me. I think they're planning stories in the press.
Oh, yeah.
You've got 2-sentence couplets from Bob Dylan that have more lyrical content than any Taylor Swift song.
But you know what? Then she'll capture that audience. But now, compare someone to Dylan. Who would be comparable to that? Like, with Elton John and Bernie and their songs. I mean, they can be kind of deep, too. Or sometimes...
Let's address this in an economic point of view. Queen made big news by selling their catalog for $1 billion.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Now think about it. There are probably 10 songs that are iconic that everybody in the world knows.
From Queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And those could be used to make commercials or be in movies. There are probably 100 songs that Bob Dylan wrote that people know whether he sang them or not. If you're talking about the Mighty Quinn.
Oh, yes, the Mighty Quinn.
This World's on Fire. All the songs the band did. It's amazing, this man's artwork.
Yeah.
And
you've got to see
I wish more people could get by not being able to understand him.
Well, with music, you don't always have to. Sometimes you just listen to it for the pleasure of listening and you don't analyze it. But you're right. If you're listening to the words and they really speak to you, I think that's significant. And obviously, you like both the music and the words and all of it and the message. What do you find most interesting about him?
Trying to figure out what he's thinking or what he's saying and how he got there. And if you watch interviews with him, he has no clue. It's like the divine energy and spark that comes down from heaven and hits him in the head, and he's got to spew it out. And that's what great art is.
I was going to say, I'm trying to recall an interview.
Neil Young, to answer Phil's question, is in the same category, but not with as much fervor or energy or times doing it to greatness. But his greatest songs got written Down by the River, got written when he had like 102 temperature. So he was feverish. And he harnessed that energy. And I think that's what Dylan does. He's our greatest muse of the cosmic message.
All right.
How about the Beatles? Are you into the Beatles at all? Because
Big time. It was my first love. And they took me to Dylan. And so John and George share that muse effect with Dylan. Paul McCartney does not. Paul McCartney's our greatest pop song structure writer. He's not a muse.
I tell you, when you listen to All Things Must Pass, what an incredible album. It just
Blow
is.
away.
Yeah, it is just an incredible album. And it's
Waiting on You All. Oh, my God.
yeah. And you know, just to know this is George's solo work, which he did, and George is probably my favorite because of that. I think he adds a little depth to it. Although some people like John's work too, I do, but I don't like as much as George's. So it's kind of interesting. Interesting
that
perspective.
George Harrison Greatest Hits record that came out when we were kids of just his Beatles tracks was phenomenal. You know, I mean, one side was solo, one side was Beatles, but I mean, when he wrote a Beatles song, it was incredible. I wish that I think he got politically pushed aside a little bit, you know, but anyhow, you know.
He was as content as can be, though. The guy let nothing bother him. And I sort of like how he lived, though, just kind of on a farm and just he was very sure of himself, and you never heard him, you know, really yelling at people. He was really true to himself, and I kind of the quiet Beatle, as he was.
Well,
that
always was the tag, but so thank you guys for
thanks for calling.
Thank you. I hope you have
very interesting. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye.